fuck with me, but I say they can't fuck with me. Just like the girl, I'm everywhere. How you say it so my
shit, you would think I went to school for chiropractic. Looking good as hell today, just sent my nigga 5 visits. Why'd you come from me?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Beautiful Black people. Good morning. Let me know you guys can hear me okay. Not Imperious. How did you get back in here? Okay. Hi, Sherelle. Baby girl Sherelle. I love you so much. Jay Strada in the building. Charles is here. Charles Couture. Is that how I say that? UFO with the choice of Venus. Why you never say the voice of Venus, huh? Why you can't just respect my authority, huh? Wait, why don't I hear the music? Turn this down. Who else is in here? M Mills. Hi, M Mills. How you doing? Black Zalia says, let's see what these mutants finna cry about today while I make breakfast. Hope everyone is enjoying their hump day. Hi, Victor. It's Venus Gang Gang. I thought I heard some drill music. You did. But I didn't want to play that. Hi, Cellulite. Cellulite in the building. Hi, Tezzy Cade. Hi. Good morning, everybody. What's today? I got to act like a real morning show. I'm going to get better, guys. Because, okay, so like I said, next week, and I'm going to announce it again later when some more people come in. My plan is to do Tuesday through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time, right? That's the plan. Tuesdays to Fridays, starting next week. This week, my schedule won't allow it, but next week, I'm definitely going to go Tuesdays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and random shows here and there when I can, but I really want to secure the 4 days a week, the morning slot. I think that works for me. It works for my schedule. And who doesn't want to hear this beautiful voice as soon as they wake up? I mean, come on. God gave it to me for a reason, okay? So that's what I got going on. But yes, yesterday, I'm sorry, I started a little late today. I'm trying, guys. I just have a ton of things going on. I'm an entrepreneur, and I also have a job right now, unfortunately. So my time just be all over the place. Hi, PJ. So I'm going to get everything in order next week and be able to be consistent with my schedule. Okay? But this is the Random Morning Show. Today is Wednesday, August 28th. Guys, you only have 4 more months left in the year to accomplish your goals. Okay? The Lord sent me. Black Jesus told me to tell y'all. You still have 4 more months to turn it around. Okay? You still have 4 more months to do whatever it is you needed to do. Make this year count. Okay? The other 8 months came and went. They're gone. That's okay. We don't cry about the past. We don't dwell on the past. We just make adjustments and move forward. Okay? So, how are you going to spend the next 4 months of your life? What are you going to do to ensure that this is an optimal year? I just felt like I needed to say that. Somebody needed a word today, okay? Somebody needed to know. So I just wonder if you guys are being mindful, keeping track of time, because time goes very fast. How many of you could think like back to high school and feel like high school was like 2 weeks ago and now you're 30? Like time flies, right? So we have to be more mindful of our time. We have to be more strategic of how we're spending our time and what we're doing. And so that's why I'm always going to start the show telling you what today is. Okay, it's August 28th. We got 4 more months in this year. We can turn it around. And even me, whatever it was, you had weight loss goals, you fell off track, you got 4 more months to still get on track, get it going. You had entrepreneurial goals, you still got 4 months. Whatever kind of goals, self-development goals, financial goals, whatever they are, it's 4 months in a year. It ain't over yet. Exactly. PJ said we almost 9 months in a year. That started 2 weeks ago. Black Dahlia said I graduated in 1999 and it feels like yesterday. Right. So that's my point. Like a lot of time we think we have more time than we actually do. Oh, my boo Sherelle is here. Sherelle, if you want to come co-host with me, I would love that. I'm dropping a link for you and you only if you want it. No pressure. But yeah, think about that. We think we have a lot more time than we actually do. And those of you who don't know, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I study business people a lot. I try to pay attention to some of their mentalities and their mindsets so I can adapt some of them. And one thing I learned about rich, successful people, they are very adamant about their time. You could hit any of them up. They're going to be able to open their phone with a calendar in it, and they'll be able to tell you everywhere they're going to be on any date, because they understand that time is our most valuable resource, right? And so we can't waste it. So we have to be very strategic with our time, very intentional with our time. Okay? That was my little message of the day, because you guys know I have a dream. I would love to be a motivational speaker one day. I just really want to. And so y'all gonna be my test dummies. I'm gonna start actually writing out my motivational messages, and then I'm gonna come give it to y'all, and I want y'all to criticize me. Okay? That's what I'm gonna start doing next week too. I'm gonna have like a morning motivation that I wrote out, and I want you guys to give me like your honest feedback if I'm good or not, because I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to be on stages. I'm going to be a person who gets the big bags to come speak. Amen. I'm claiming it. Okay, UFO said I accomplished my yearly goals in the first 6 months. The last 6 months is a breeze. So you would be like a high performing person. And I'm proud of you. Shout out to you for that. And I want to say some of us aren't that disciplined, okay? And maybe some of us, life happened, different things happened. But that's why I'm here to remind everybody that you still have 4 months. It's 4 months left in a year. You can still pursue those goals. You can still get some of that stuff done, right? It's not over until it's over. And it would be a great thing to go into the new year with new goals, instead of like some of us do. We go into the new year with the same goals from last year, with the same goals from the year before, with the same goals from the year before, because we're not being intentional with our time. So I'm here to remind you guys to be intentional with your time. Okay. Hi, Lauren Mack, my boo. You look so pretty with your hair up on the show last night. Jay Strada said, hate Venus, motivational quotes. Check and check. You better not. Okay, PJ says time is most valuable. You can always get more money, but you can get more time. Amen. And I want to talk about something really quickly. I want to talk about people prioritizing themselves, right? This is something that ambitious people, specifically, myself included, really struggle with. We want to use most of our time on pursuing money, pursuing goals, pursuing, right? The problem with that is the head can only turn in so many directions, right? This is a metaphor. Follow me. This is me working on my motivational stuff, okay? And this is off the top of the head, okay? Okay, so this is how I'm seeing this. The head can only turn in so many directions, right? So if I look to the left, I can't see what's to my right. And if I look to the right, I can't see what's to my left. And if I look straight in front of me, I can't see what's behind me, right? So I'm saying that to say it's a great thing to pursue money, pursue goals, be ambitious. But if that's all you pursue, in this case, let's say that's what's to the right. You know what's to the left? Your health, your mental well-being, your family, right? So sometimes we can spend so much attention on our goals, on our ambitions, on pursuing money because we need it. It's logical, right? Everybody got these situations, but what's happening on the other side while you're looking in that direction is that those areas are suffering, and sometimes a little bit too much. So my whole point of that was to let's prioritize having some balance. I don't care if it's one day a week, that's fine, but you do need to prioritize yourself, your mental health, your mental well-being, getting rest, drinking your water, or just sometimes disconnecting from people. Maybe I don't want to talk to anybody today. Let me turn my phone. Whatever it is, you know what your needs are. And I just want to normalize us prioritizing ourselves, right? Because I'm thinking like before, we had all this technology and all these responsibilities. Like I was looking at a study at like the happiest countries. I can't remember, but they were countries where people did not work themselves to death. That's what I know. Like, we need to work. We live in a capitalistic society. The economy is crazy, and I get it. Listen, trust me, I get it. But you can't forget about the human, right? Because you are the nucleus to it all. So if you're not okay health wise, mental health wise, physically, energy wise, spiritually, emotionally, then you don't have the wherewithal to even do the pursuing in the way that would be the most effective, right? So we have to prioritize ourselves first. Okay. Oh my God, Love C said, I see you progressing and I'm proud of you. That means so much to me. Coming from Love C, I'm not going to cry. Okay, I'm not. Was that a good motivational message, guys? I'm telling you, I'm working on it. I'm going to be a top paid motivational speaker. Okay. I'm going to figure it out. Okay. And work on delivering my words properly and voice control and getting my messages together. And then I'm gonna be like, I don't know, y'all. They just booked me to go speak at the White House to the youth, y'all. I'm sorry I can't stream today. That's what I'm gonna have to be telling y'all. Okay. I hate strong. He said it was all right. That's okay. I'm gonna work. That wasn't written down. When I'm gonna write out my motivational messages for next week morning shows. And y'all gonna be able to witness the growth. I'm gonna be a fire motivational speaker. Just wait. I don't care what nobody say. Sherelle said the growth is coming with the healing, baby girl. Keep purging the pain. Oh, I love that you said that. Keep purging the pain. See, me and Sherelle are just like twin souls inside, okay? It's just so much wisdom in there. After you get to one layer, it's just another and another and another. Y'all just don't know that, okay? But I have a couple of things, the pastor was talking about. I just want to show y'all real quick before I get on my Super Hotep Dr. Umar bag, because I'm going to review an interview that I wanted to review yesterday, but y'all came up here and started squabbling, and that's okay. Because this is our house, okay? It ain't just my house, it's our house. So sometimes y'all just do what y'all want, and I just have to let it happen. It's fine. But okay, let's listen to this.
Jerusalem's walls were down and the gates were burned. They were a city without walls. And let me tell you, a city without a wall was an embarrassment. Not only was it an embarrassment, it was dangerous because people could
Why is it always free?
Walk in and out. And then the Lord gave me an epiphany. He gave me a revelation that some of us are stressed out because we have lives with no boundaries. You have a life with no walls. People can walk in your life and walk out of your life. They can walk in how they want to, and they can walk out how they want to. But I want to preach to people and say, you know what? I know 2024 is almost over, but before this year is over, I'm going to build some boundaries. You're not just going to talk to me any kind of way. You're not just going to do me any kind of way. You're not going to walk in and out of my life with no accountability. I'm looking for people who say, I am building boundaries in this season of my life. You got to have boundaries. Listen to me. Am I preaching to anybody? You get to decide what you let in your spirit. Jerusalem's walls.
How many of you need to work on healing creating some boundaries? Like, this is a thing I see in a lot of people. We don't have boundaries. Why don't we have boundaries? Because we were never taught to have boundaries. It's crazy that some people look at boundaries as a bad thing. You ever tell somebody no, or they act like it's the end of the world? They act like you personally attacked them. You personally offended them because you had the audacity to have a boundary. You ever not want to go somewhere because you decided that is just not for you, and it was taken like you disrespected somebody, right? Like, we're not even taught to A, create boundaries, or B, respect them. And usually the people who don't respect boundaries are people who also have a problem creating boundaries, right? So, sorry, I got distracted. Black said, why do I care if they are offended? I said no. Well, you know, you have your boundaries intact, but some of us do care. I mean, some people do care, right? Let me tell you the truth. When this hit me, because I struggled a lot with saying no to people, right? And that would be a person who doesn't have boundaries. Like he said, Jerusalem with no walls. People could walk in and out as they please. They could do whatever they want. Because I have no boundaries, right? I don't know why, but I was taught that somewhere coming up that it was a bad thing to tell people no. I think we're taught a lot of times to put. I'm going to speak specifically about Black women. I think we're taught, whether directly or indirectly, a lot of times that we are to be self-sacrificing, and so much so that you put others' best interests before your own. So you kind of come up thinking that it's a bad thing to tell people no. And so you end up overextending yourself, overextending your resources, sometimes doing things that are harmful to yourself just to make other people happy. Because somewhere growing up, nobody taught you boundaries are okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to be a little bit selfish when you need to, right? That was looked at as a bad thing. So a lot of people struggle with saying no and hearing no. And so I've gotten a lot better because I had to, things had to get so bad that I'm like, okay, you are giving all of this stuff out and there's nothing left for you. Or because you want people's approval, or you want to be quote unquote nice, or you think you're being mean if you say no when you should say no. Sometimes you just need to say no. And I mean, I had to force myself. Like, I was extra generous, like too generous. It was ridiculous. Like, it didn't make sense. And this is how people be setting themselves up for disappointment. So let me tell y'all what happened, right? I would be extra generous, buy people stuff they didn't ask me for, give them money when they did and when they didn't ask me for it, go out of my way and say yes to everything everybody wanted me to do. And then I found out when the rare occasion needed something, or it might not even be money, meaning I need some time right now, I need you to come with me somewhere, or I need some support. And I realized, damn, nobody has a problem telling you no. I looked around me and I said, wait, nobody even blinked twice before they say no to me, but I'm killing myself to say yes to everybody else. So are they wrong or am I wrong? And it's like, now I'm wrong for not having no damn boundaries. So I had to correct that. And I struggle sometimes still because, people you care about, I don't want to say no. I want to help you. Even if I don't really want to, I just want to because it's you, right? And so sometimes that lack of boundaries is all the time it's a problem. Exactly. UFO said being a people pleaser will burn you out. And yeah, definitely have your feelings hurt. have you mad at the world. And I could see it now, but sometimes when you're in it, you can't see it, right? So you really think you're a victim. You're really like, oh my God, I do all this stuff for people and nobody don't help me, and I need new people around me. And then you get a realization where it's like nobody asked you to do half of that shit. You the one jumping out the window, going above and beyond for everybody, and then you're mad because they're smart enough to not be doing that shit for you. And when I realized that, I'm causing my own pain. So how about now? I'm just going to tell people no when I have to. And you might be a little bit mad at me, but I'd rather you be mad at me than me be mad at myself. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Jonathan for more. She said they were wrong and you were a very good person. I hate when a good person is treated that way because they can change their core. I had to force myself, girl. It was so bad. I would be in a store. This is when I was like fixing it, right? I'll be in a store and I would see, like, let's just say a little moto jacket in Macy's or something. It's like $50. Like, ooh, this would look cute on such and such certain family member. And then I would have to override my own initial thought and be like, but would she do this for you? What did she do for your birthday? You gave her such and such and you ain't even get a card. Like I had to, it was painful, but I had to start evaluating, like, you doing way too much for people who don't even think that highly of you. They ain't considerate of you like that. They don't deserve that. And then you're going to be looking up sad on your birthday like nobody did for me, and I couldn't count all this shit I did for everybody else. And I had to realize you did it to yourself, Venus. Nobody told you to go out and spend all that money. Nobody told you to be thoughtful and show up for every single thing, because nobody's thinking about you like that, right? So it was a rude awakening, but it was necessary. So I'm just saying, like, there are some people listening, and y'all ain't got to say it, but I know y'all struggle with boundaries. And yeah, this is the time to set them. You're not wrong for telling people no. You are in charge of your own time, your own resources, your own attention. You don't want to be somewhere, don't be there. You don't want to buy something, don't buy it. You don't want to give some money, don't give it. And you don't owe nobody nothing. Now, if you got children or a wife and a husband, you know, that might be a different conversation. But I'm saying that you don't legit walk around here owing people, but people will have you feeling like you owe them something. Then you're not entitled to my time. You ain't entitled to my attention. You're not entitled to my money. You're not entitled to any of that. Victor said, I wouldn't want to be that dependable to the guy to always get screwed over. Yeah, that's what was happening to me. That's exactly what was happening. But you don't, just like what I said in my example, they're doing it to themselves. Nobody forcing you to do that. You waking up wanting to do the damn most, and then your feelings are hurt when you realize most people ain't waking up thinking like that about you. Black Dahlia said, my presence is my present. Listen, but even that, like I said, most of the time, I promise you, most of the times the things I wanted from people was not money. It's like, oh, I'm having I'm going to such and such. Could you mind coming with me? Or like, you know, I might need help painting my apartment, or I might need, it was like I would need other things. And it was like pulling teeth to get people to help me. But I'm the first phone call every time somebody needs some money. I'm the first phone call every time somebody need to go somewhere. Nah. Yes, people pleasing actually makes you an enabler for others not to progress. And this is true. And it did get to a point where I did have to have a talk with a certain person in my life and be like, listen, you can't ask me for money no more. Like you're asking too often. It's a, you know, that's true. It got worse. Did you feel good when you did it? Yeah, jonesing for more. And so maybe it's a little bit of selfishness in that. Y'all ever thought about that? Selfish giving. Y'all know what selfish giving is? You're giving to people, but there's some selfishness in it. You're giving with a stipulation. And I didn't really think it through, but I think subconsciously my stipulation was, I'm doing stuff for you, so I'm expecting that when I need, you do stuff for me, right? And then when they wouldn't do it, I'm disappointed. My feelings are hurt because I could always pull up this list of things that I done did for you. Right, self-gratitude. So even sometimes when we're giving to people, we're really doing something for ourselves too. Because yeah, it makes me feel good that I'm the one who can help. I have a lot of nieces, and I don't have kids, so it makes me feel good if somebody needs something for one of the kids and I could just go and buy it. That makes me feel good. I'm not gonna lie. I take pride in being able to contribute to the family in that way. So yeah, there was something in it for me too. I want to, yeah, I got her hair done. Yeah, I bought her graduation dress. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did that. Right. I'm taking pride in that too. Right. So it's sometimes people are giving, but there's a little bit of selfishness in it because they're pleasing themselves as well. And so I still have to work on that because they say you're supposed to give and not expect anything. Like if you're helping, just really help. Right. I'm just being honest. It wasn't intentional, but looking back at it, like, yeah, a part of that people pleasing is that there's something in it for them too. That's why they're doing it. So it's like a selfish giving. I hope that made sense. Yeah, Sherelle said that's how people end up getting used. Yeah, because y'all ever heard of that? What's it? Familiarity breeds contempt. Because now you're so used to this person doing for you, it almost becomes an obligation. You tend to forget they don't have to, right? But it's like feeding an animal. I keep feeding this animal, they're gonna keep coming back. So see, look at Mill. She said, I still feel bad sometimes when I have to stand my ground on boundaries. People will gaslight you into feeling bad for doing it. Yeah, because we have also created little monsters around us, like UFO said. You create enablers, right? So we're guilty too. We've been um, accommodating and accommodating and accommodating, and then you finally say no. That's like a glitch in the matrix. You done fucked up the flow. Hold on. How dare you say no? Yo, let me tell you what I did to my grandmother. When I was in high school, my grandmother was spoiling me and buying me all these Jordans. Jordans was the thing, right? And one time she said no. Do y'all know? I really refused to go to school and did not go to school because she would not buy me those sneakers. Who the hell does that? I did not go to school. I was like, I'm not going to school unless you buy me them sneakers. And she actually bought them. That's the crazy. She was enabling me. Bad behavior. Probably should have whooped my little ass, but she didn't do. My grandma didn't do that. But see, that's how people turn. They turn into monsters. You can't just keep giving. Because look what I did. It's a damn shame. Yeah, because she was spoiling me. That is wild. She should have just beat me, but she didn't. Who says that? But she didn't. Grandma was nice. My grandma was the nicest person I ever met. That's why the one time she really got tired of my shit and caught herself trying to spank me. Oh my God. First of all, it did not hurt at all. She was very, very old. But the fact that I knew in my heart she wanted to beat me, I cried for like a whole week. I was so depressed. I told everybody in the family. I was like, Grandma hit me. I could not believe. It felt like betrayal. I was so hurt. I was like, God damn. It must be real if Grandma tried to hit me. She ain't never do that. I was so depressed. Everybody thought it was funny. I was telling my brothers on her, and they was getting mad at me. Like, well, what the hell could you have possibly done to make her even want to hit you? Well, nobody feels sorry for you. I should come hit your ass. Well, what did you do? I was like, damn, this ain't working out the way I thought at all. I ain't getting no sympathy. Grandma betrayed me. I'm depressed. And my brothers don't give a damn. It was a lot going on that day. But I was telling everybody. Okay, I think I got one more, and then we're going to get into Dr. Umar. Okay. Look, Sherelle is a spoiled ass brat too. I've been through this. I had to know Sherelle for about 2 months, and then I realized she was a spoiled ass little brat because she got the same syndrome I got. She's the baby with all of these older people who usually cater to the baby. Okay, and then you create a spoiled ass brat, and that's what happened. And then men didn't make it any easier because, especially like in high school before everybody's all damaged and fucked up, Boys tend to be nice. Like they tend to be, I just want to be nice to girls and for the most part and do what they want me to do. So you come from the house spoiling you, your little boyfriend spoiling you, maybe not with money, but the most he can. So yeah, then it could create very entitled women walking around. Okay. Yes. Grand Rising King. Hi, Sean. UFO says, Grand Rising King. No, he didn't say that. I'm reading the same thing. Where is it? Okay. Setting moderate goals is a part of breaking the cycle of prioritizing expectations of others and people pleasing. Let me read this again. Setting moderate goals is a part of breaking the cycle of prioritizing expectations of others. Right. Okay, I can see this because let's just say I have a savings goal this week, right? This week's paycheck, I want to save X amount of dollars. So by having that goal, by default, I have to say no to people, right? I have to create a boundary so that I can accomplish the savings goal. Or if I said I want to work out 4 times this week, then by kind of setting that goal, I'm going to, by default, have to turn other things down, right? So I'm picking up what you're putting down. Venus in the day, that's going to spank her. My father did not hit girls. My father threatened me one time, and he used my mother to do it. He was like, oh, when your mother come home, I'm going to tell her to beat you. And he lied because she ain't never beat me, so he never told her. But he had me shook. I was scared all day. I was in the bedroom plotting how could I run away? What could I do? I was trying anything and everything. That was the longest day of my life. My mother was at work, and my father told me, when your mother come home, she gonna beat that ass, okay? And I was terrified. I couldn't even focus on my cartoons. Oh, I was so stressed out. I remember that.
God told me to tell you.
That wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Shout out to the fathers. Let me tell the fathers something. Y'all gonna stop stressing y'all daughters out with them threats. Don't be threatening me, telling me my mother gonna beat my ass, especially when I know she really will beat my ass. Don't do that. Strata said Venus like sound like a Netflix special. Oh no, it really don't. That shit is a lifetime tragedy. If I really got into, there's just certain things I can't talk about because they're just too painful. But trust me, this shit was not no cakewalk at all. Lucky Marie in the building. She says, why is it only 18 likes? Because they don't give a damn about me, Lucky. They want to see me fail. They want to kill me. They want to end me and my career, Lucky. That's why. They don't give a damn. That's why, Lucky. And look what I'm up here doing. Opening my heart, my soul, my mind, my spirit, spreading the word, motivating the people. And look how they do me. Okay, I think I got one more. It wasn't this. Oh, this. Okay.
God told me to tell you that how you speak in pain will determine if he gives you permission. God says, how you speak in pain will determine if I give you permission to go rebuild your next level. And when God can trust you with big pain, he can trust you with big promotion. If he can't trust you with pain, you will always stay small. You're asking God to grow it. Before you ask God to grow it, ask him to grow you. God told me to tell you that how you speak in pain will determine if he gives you permission. God says,
how do you feel about that message? How you speak in pain will determine if God gives you permission. How many of us, when we're going through something, all we know how to do is speak death instead of life? Oh, this is not working out. That is not working out. Oh, this happened. That happened. Everything that comes out of our mouth is not of life. It's of death. It's of defeat. It's of despair. It's of depression. How many of us do that? How many of us know how to be in the middle of it and still speak life? I'm going to play it again since you didn't hear it.
How you speak in pain will determine if I give you permission to go rebuild your next level.
If I give you permission to go rebuild your next level, permission to rebuild the next level, like how you speak in pain Like in a dark time in my life, am I still being grateful to God? Am I still being appreciative? Am I still thankful? That's how I take that anyway, right? Like even when things aren't going good, am I still being grateful to God? Am I still understanding that I still have a lot that I'm blessed with? I still have abundance. I still have things to be grateful for. Or am I blaming God, or am I blaming everyone, or am I woe is me and this is this and that is that? Like, what is your heart posture when things are not going well? I think is the point. What do y'all think? So for those of you, I know everybody don't believe this, but you know how Christians say speak life, right? Speak life over things. This is the easiest way I can make non-believers understand this. You guys ever seen that study about when you have a plant, when you speak positively to the plant, how it responds, as opposed to when you speak negatively to the plant? You ever seen that? You are a plant. Same way. You're a plant. So we can either speak positivity, optimism, have gratitude, or we can speak death, defeat, despair, depression. You're going to respond the same way the plant does. But as this Jay Strada says, oh yeah, same thing with frozen water and the way water crystallizes, right? So y'all don't think that applies to us? It does. Okay, but that's just it. Y'all don't have to pay me for anything else. I told y'all I'm going to be a millionaire professional motivational speaker. And that's all y'all get today. But no, seriously, I hope something I said resonated with you all. And again, I believe God speaks through you and to you. So a lot of these things I'm saying to you guys always, it needs to be applied to myself. I need to be reminded too. I was on the phone with my boo Sherelle last night, and she literally said that to me. Speak life over yourself, Venus. As Sherelle said, whatever you want, you go ahead and claim it. Because I was talking to her about a business decision that I needed to make. And my boo uplifted me. Shout out to Sherelle. I love her so much. Lucky said, I speak death over my ex and ain't shit happen. Yes, it did. He's your ex. The relationship died. You spoke right. You absolutely did. You spoke death over him and it's done. Relationship is dead. So yeah. Speak life into that new one though, right? That's what we gotta do. Lucky, like, now I wanted him to physically die. I understand that too. I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, guys, but I'm going to my Big George said you just didn't concentrate enough. Okay, so where we at? 10:41. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to my Dr. Umar interview. Okay, so there's more people here, so I gotta make my announcement again. Okay, guys, so listen. Starting next week, I'm going to be taking over the morning slots on Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So please be here for me. Be here for me. Because again, like, so y'all hear this wonderful voice. I mean, who wouldn't want to hear this shit all day? I would. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find the Dr. Umar interview that I just literally had up on my screen, so I apologize. Here it is. Oh yeah, I'm dropping the link because again, you know, we can't be here all day. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Lucky said he thriving low key. You need to tap in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't tapped in, so your powers, those black women melanated powers that we have, it ain't activated. I'm gonna prescribe you to stand in the sun for 1 hour a day, meditate, do some grounding, then go in the house and pray for 30 days, and then you will have your powers back. You know what I'm saying? You're just not tapped in right now. That's the problem. Why is my computer doing this ghetto Hold on, y'all.
A traitor. The hip hop community has betrayed Black America. You're looking for a way not to have to engage the negative elements because you ain't got the courage to step to them and shut that down. And that's what's happening in hip hop.
You walked yourself in that corner because then you said,
I'm
"No one's
holding
guiding
the
it."
entire culture accountable for letting it go on.
Pop, fatherless Black boys ain't hip.
Bullshit.
Your job.
Bullshit.
That is your job.
Oh,
You can't
so
put that on hip hop.
You
can't
put
put that on
making
hip
all
hop.
this money
No,
and
no,
not
no, no,
using
no,
none
no.
of it
You
to
can't-
help the pros.
You listen to hip hop music and you were inspired at some point, no?
I'm leaving.
I got a couple of cash apps, so I know what the people want and need in their life, and they have to have it. Okay, so hold on. Thank you, Marvelous Opinion, for the cash app. I'm grateful. And thank you to PJ for the cash app. I'm grateful. And I have a message for you both.
Wanna sex you, tell you fall fast asleep in the bedroom. Then listen to this blue star beat. Lay your body down. Girl, I want you next to me. I wanna.
Okay, thank you. While I'm there, I got 2 super chats. I'm reading real quick. Thank you, Victor Hart, for the super sticker. I appreciate the support. Victor, when you gonna come sing a song? I hear you singing a little while now. PJ, thank you for the $5. That's showing my love and support. Have a wonderful Wednesday. You too. Have a good day at school today. What's your problem with freaky ass Chewbacca? Let Chewbacca be great. God damn.
Up in a nasty girl, nasty. Up in a nasty girl, nasty. Up in a nasty girl, nasty. Up in a nasty, nasty, nasty. Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody?
All right. Let me stop. Okay, back to the video.
Hello.
Let me give credit. Anyone who wants to watch this channel is called Hustle Over Everything.
Oh, and welcome to Hustle Over Everything. I'm Alex, and today is part 2 of our episode with Dr. Umar. And if you haven't seen the first one, go do that and come back. Now, this episode, you're going to be in. All right, let's get into the episode. So I have a few questions. I'm a
Sure.
part of a black group in Toronto,
A black.
men's group. in
Okay.
Toronto.
Okay.
So I'm asking for some questions from that group, and then Miles, I'm gonna give you the stage for a little bit. You got some questions, Dr. Umar?
Yeah,
Then-
I have one more question, and Dr. Umar does have to go quick
Exactly.
soon. So fire those off quickly. And
Where
then-
we at? What time is it?
Yeah, it's
1
It's
o'clock.
1:05. So you gotta
We
go.
got an hour. We good till 2.
Okay.
Too?
Okay.
Solid. Amazing. All right, cool. So what message do you have for black men in Toronto from a U.S. lens?
I'm gonna go from a Pan-Africanist lens. It doesn't have to be a U.S. lens. Black men everywhere, I would probably give the same assessment because wherever I go, I see the same handful of problems. Africa, Caribbean, Central South America, Toronto, Asia, Europe, same thing. Single mother-led homes, mass incarceration of black men with chronic employment, white Jesus, fatherless black boys. So what do black men need to do? Number one, we need to organize. We need to organize and take back our streets. And in order to take back our streets, we got to take back our boys. We're not doing enough with the young men. There's too many young men who don't have a father figure in their life. And one of my gripes with the black church, they're not doing enough for the mentorship of the fatherless boys. Every time I talk to a pastor about working with the fatherless boys, you know the first question they want to bring up? Is there any funding for that? Why the hell you need money to spend time with our fatherless young men? Stop looking for a hustle and put in the struggle. But
Hi, Sean. I didn't even see you creep up here. What do you think about this?
I totally agree. I be saying the same thing on these YouTube streets. It's on us to fix this type of shit, black men specifically. So yeah, yep, he is preaching.
He just said a lot. I'm trying to process speaking about the 4 issues and not it just be an American thing, but like overall. Because they're in Toronto, so they were asking about Toronto, and he's saying I see a lot of the same core issues wherever I am: fatherless homes, single moms, high incarceration.
Right. Yeah, and that's my thing. When you look at the commonality, all of it, to me, the common thread is black men and our actions and inactions. Like in terms of getting the home straight, the community straight, all that type of stuff. I think that's a black man issue. I think it's on us. Like, that's why I get annoyed every time I hear these guys say, we built this and we built that. But it's like, so why ain't you taking ownership of the other things that need to be fixed and or built in our community? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you not taking ownership of that if we are the builders? I don't understand that, because all those things to me sound like a black man leadership issue, a black man creativity issue, a black man organizing issue. All of it sounds like that.
Just a sidebar. I think him saying we need to organize is major. I remember there was a conversation about the black women entrepreneurs and how they were getting all of this funding from the government. They were getting grants and they were getting loans and they were getting scholarship. And the thing that the black men who were making those complaints were missing was that they organized better. That's really the only difference. Now, are there certain grants that are specific for black women? Sure. But not like there's grants that are specific to a lot of things, right? If you know how to just research, meet the qualifications, put your applications in, there's a part where the work has to happen. It's not just they're giving all of this stuff to the women. No, because it ain't like every woman just get a check. It don't go like that. You got to meet certain criteria. You got to meet certain deadlines. Like, you got to meet certain requirements tax-wise. It'd be different requirements that people have to meet, but they're organized so that they can meet them, right? And so I think the organization thing he's speaking to is like serious in regards to a lot of things that can be better in our community, but we don't want to organize, work together, plan. You might got to spend some money. You might got to put some time in where you ain't gonna get paid. Like, there are sacrifices that just have to be made
to spend time with our fatherless young men. Stop looking for a hustle and put in the struggle. But anyhow, organize, take back the boys, organize and build each other up economically as men. One of our biggest problems as black men, we fight too much with each other, too much competition, too much ego, too much trying to outdo. The five of us should not be competing with each other. The five of us should be collaborating with each other to build and invest together. Black men need each other because, let's just be honest, we are the number one threat to the global white power structure.
Let's stop right there. Do you agree with that? That black men, there's too much competition, there's too much fighting, and there needs to be more collaboration?
Absolutely. We see that here. We see that here, right here on YouTube. Like a lack of or an unwillingness to resolve conflict. We have terrible conflict resolution skills. Nobody wants to be seen as having the smaller penis. In situations that literally can be solved with a conversation, even if that conversation is an argument. There's no conflict resolution. So absolutely, he's absolutely on point. The fact that we have to pick a side on issues that have nothing to do with us, it even further extends that those terrible conflict resolution skills. Like, so now people not involved have to pick a side when both of y'all are wrong, to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
That part.
That's how, think about it on the hood level. That's how it spreads. You know what I'm saying? If me and Thanos have an issue and we in the hood and you don't pick a side and the shit start getting violent, then the shit spreads. Then it's Thanos' side versus my side, when it really was some shit that we could have really just handled. But now it's a thing, and it's affecting all the other things. And before you know it, it's out of control, and it's its own thing, as opposed to just me and Thanos' thing. And that's how things happen. Once again, we see it right here on YouTube.
Well, it definitely is a thing on YouTube. Lucky is going live on Saturday. She says, I'm reacting to this on Saturday with the panel. I know Lucky's going to be doing the Saturday mornings for sure. Just letting everybody know. I don't know if she has other days locked in, but I know Saturday is her day. So we got to all be there. Fantasy Island Girl says they're busy competing with women. That's a fact too. And that's trash. It really is. Hi, William. Playboy William. Marvelous opinion in the building. Hi, Marvelous.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Some other video.
not Al Qaeda, right? Not Russia, not the top. Competing with each other. The 5 of us should be collaborating with each other to build and invest together. Black men need each other because let's just be honest. We are the #1 threat to the global white power structure. Not Al Qaeda, right? Not Russia, not the Taliban. Black men have always been the threat. Always been the threat. So if we can just come together, stop fighting each other and fight together with each other against our true enemies, we would be unstoppable. African people are waiting for black men.
Somebody said, "Boy."
Yeah. So look, think about that, and this is where I would also offer a modification to what you said about the organizing and getting the grants.
Can you get a little louder? Is it possible?
Yeah. What about now?
That's better.
All right. So look, and so putting together what he just said with what you said, but the only modification to what you just said is I would take away applying for the grants. Everything he said is achievable and it's easy. It's easy to do. It's not something that's hard. So think about it, right? When you look at Obama's campaign, when you look at Kamala's campaign, it's crowdfunding. All it takes is crowdfunding, a small amount. Let's just say in the course of a month, I may spend $300, $400, $500, $600, whatever it is. Just eating out, entertainment, or whatever. Let's say if there are 10 million of us, and 10 million of us can contribute $10 per month. That's $120 per month, per year, right? Times 10 million. Like, so right there alone, you got over $1 billion in funding. And that's just with, a simple $10 a month. You know what I'm saying? Something real simple. So crowdfunding goes a long way when you're organizing. And my point is that with doing all of this stuff that he's talking about, which we've done on some level, when you control the funding, you control the outcome of what you're doing. When you start getting into the grants and letting them fund things, then they control the outcomes because they put boundaries and limits and restrictions on how you program and what you need to do, and they can take that away at any given time, as opposed to us organizing and doing it ourselves. But once again, I just want to say this because I see what some people say in the chat. You're not just responsible for your household, because the people in your household have to go outside, and if everybody ain't responsible for everybody, then it don't matter. It's still gonna be you're gonna be a great household in the middle of a shithole. So you can't have that individualistic mindset if you want to achieve some of these goals. Or you can just get on YouTube and complain about, Chicago, Baltimore.
You just triggered the hell out of me. It's to the point that the word individualism upsets me at this point, because it's really a plague in the Black community, and it bothers me that they do not understand how dangerous it is. And I feel like the writing is right on the wall. Just look around you. The thriving communities, right? Like, if we can look at the Indians, we can look at Asians, we can look at the Jewish. They do not practice individualism because they understand an individual can only get so far. Yeah. And I don't mean that they don't not do anything as individuals, but I mean, I'm going to speak as a New Yorker. If I go to Flatbush Avenue, the Asian people own the beauty supply store. They own the fruit stand. They own the laundromat, and they own the damn what do they own? Beauty supply store, Chinese restaurant, the fruit stand, the laundromat, and everybody in that bitch working is Asian. See what I'm saying? Yeah. I go to Dega, right? Poppy is from Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico, and so is everybody else in that bitch. And then when you talk to him, you find out that they got about 6 more stores all around the neighborhood, right? So all these other groups understand. If you want to rent a damn apartment in New York, 90% of the time, Jewish people are the people who own the property. So this is what I mean by when Black people be on this dumbass individualism shit. Y'all really the only idiots. Really, this is why we ain't really doing what we could be doing. Y'all the only ones who bought into that shit that everybody else sold you while they were not doing it.
Yeah. And Venus, I add to it. I would take this right here, add this. So this is one thing we got in our culture that adds to the whole individualism. At least in my household, I was always taught, like, As soon as you're 18, you're getting the fuck out of my house. You're gonna be growing on your own, take care of your business, take care of yourself. I don't want no grown man to live underneath me or no grown woman to take care of me. You're gonna be able to sophistify and be good on your own. That right there just tells you to be an individual in itself. So the message is you gotta be able to do for yourself. It's one thing to say one day I want you to have a family, do this, blah blah blah. But when you got a limit of 18, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? That's the realism, you know. It's like, all right, bet. And I told my mom that too. I said, yo, that's why I chose the Navy. I was like, yo, you basically told me I was out by a certain time and you wasn't going to tolerate certain things. And you right, it's not about me contributing, because I can contribute. But the fact is that you wanted me out. So I could have been adding to the family. I could have been adding more and been an investment. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a family thing. I could have been making a name for us. But you said make a name for yourself. That's the message I got.
You know what the white people, and of course not all, but I had a client the other day who owns a few restaurants, was telling me about, because we were talking about Manhattan and how there are brownstones in Manhattan and like how expensive it is to live there. Because we were talking about like, how do people even have cars out here? It don't make no damn sense. The parking is so trash. And he was telling me, he was like, you know that like we'll just stay with our parents until we're 30, save a bunch of money, and then buy a house. So, and I was like, damn. And again, of course, I know this is not every white man's reality, obviously, right? There's a lot of poor white people. I'm not saying that. But I was just thinking, like, culturally, I haven't heard that in African American culture. I never heard stay with us until you're 30, so that by the time you leave, you can buy a property. I have never heard that. Have y'all heard that growing up?
Nope.
No, but this is the thing. We make fun of those kids. We make fun of you say now to 30. We make fun of the trust fund kids, the ones that have means and have parents that look after them. We make fun of that shit. That's part of the problem. We look at that as a weakness when really it's the boon and indicative of how solidified their culture is.
So, okay.
My family was a little different. My family actually, you could stay until you got yourself together, but they taught us the discipline and everything. So if we did go to college or we did get a good job or what have you, then we could just move out. We didn't really have a hard pressed time of 18 get out. So, and that's only in my family. I can't speak for everybody else's, but we actually had the option where if you went to college and everything, they wanted to support you in that, because that was a big thing for our family because a lot of people didn't go to college.
Oh no, that was a thing in my family. They did it maybe because I'm a girl, but they definitely were like that on some of the boys. Like, and that was again, not everybody, but I think culturally, a lot of us have heard that, even if it wasn't in our house, it was around. You 18, you getting out.
Absolutely. The other thing, even talking to this Muslim that I know, he was saying basically what they do is they establish a business, and then you have to, when they bring their family over, they have to work in the business, whether it's a gas station, restaurant, or whatever the case may be. And they either live with their parents or they live together. And I'm talking about successful people. These people were professors at universities, and them and it was four different families living together with their kids, and they were all professors at universities. So they were making great money, and they had businesses. But they said the idea is to get at least $500,000 before you even move out, and then they'll rotate the next person into that business and rinse and repeat. These are the cultural norms that we don't even think about. Another thing this Jewish cat told me was that what they do in their community, when their kids go to college, they'll buy them a house that they live in, and then the kids will be able to charge rent to their roommates. And then when they graduate, they can either keep the house or sell it. So that means that instead of having, a bunch of debt because they got extra money for student loans to get a refund check, they were making positive cash flow in college. Now they're able to sell that asset and have a lump sum when they start life. And we start in the negative when we get out of college.
Yeah.
And
our families don't think like that.
But that house could also be paying tuition, so there's no debt.
Yeah, that's true too. I was gonna say it depends on your family structure, because like I said before, you guys, I tell my little brother's my investment. So a lot of my stuff that I put into the family pot. I'm actually looking at it like, who's gonna be the head of the family? And I mean that legitimately, because we need someone who's actually going to run this and continue our values and continue to vet people who come into our family, because family ties is also important. Do we actually value family ties? Like, do you really care about who's coming into your family and what they value? A lot of times it's like, nah, this is kind of more, I'll sacrifice and compromise this, but that's going to end up breaking up the family. Well, it is what it is. And a lot of people just do what they feel because that's what makes them happiest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it takes a lot of discipline and
Wait, hold
training.
on. What do you mean by coming into the family? Like marriage? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Family ties is marriage. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, people you bring into your family, and it's like you don't really know what they value, what their family values. Thing is, if you have extended family that value what what you value, then you guys are only increasing your family value as a whole. So you guys are actually one unit. That's actually starting to build an actual community when you actually tie families together. But people aren't really tying families together. Everyone's kind of just branching their own families and going other places and elsewhere, and not really holding nothing down.
What's up, Joshua, the resident white man, the resident oppressor? I heard you, Marvelous. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I heard what you
You good? You good? You good?
um, okay, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna play some more.
To collaborate. We got to get there.
Next question. What is the status of the school?
What is the status of the school? Where is the school, brother?
Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. What is the status of the school? Well, tomorrow morning I got to meet with a door contractor. I want to get some new doors. The doors we got are good. You know, they're secure, but they're old. And since the school is 15 years old, physically the school is 15 years old. We've had it for 5 of those 15. I want to give it a fresh look. So I want fresh doors. We got another paint job, another layer of paint. We got some floors to cover up. Once we cover up the floors, put that other layer of paint, it's time for inspection. We at the finish line. So I hope to be applying for the inspection before summer ends. And somebody say, why not next week? Something always comes up every time you at the finish line. Something always comes. Some little fix this, you know. But we right there, you know. So my thing is, let's get the building permitted before the end of the summer so we can have a grand opening probably for Kwanzaa. But we're going to start educating the children next summer, though, because we need time to get ready. We can't do it that fast. Sure. But we right there. We dancing.
Somebody needs to mute. I'm hearing a lot of like background noise. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that was Ami.
My bad, I'm driving.
But what he's
Okay,
doing
what
now
was it? You want to say something?
Yeah,
No, no,
I'll
no.
say
Omni, you wanted to
okay.
say something? Omni?
What's up?
Okay, go ahead. Were you coming off mute because you wanted to say something?
No. I was just letting y'all know I'm driving, so I'm muting up. It was Friday.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Marvelous.
I was gonna say with Mr. Umar Johnson's, I would say that I think, in my opinion, he needs to focus on one thing at a time. I think his priority should be the school in terms of knowing exactly what he's doing, so he doesn't have to run into so many snags and then have to explain stuff on the way. I think if he focused on one thing at a time, this being the priority, like he has to prioritize himself in a way, because this school does seem like a second or a third thing, although that was his main thing for coming out. You know what I'm saying? You know, wanting to raise the youth and education, the boys is so important and stuff. But he's doing other things right now that I believe are kind of distracting from his overall goal, which is get to school, which is so long. Because other people have done what he's done before. It's nothing new. And, you know, I don't want to say he doesn't know what he's doing, but I think if he actually focused on what he actually is doing, he would have accomplished it.
I think you're kind of right, but I do think when you compare him to other people, there's one major difference. I don't know if those other people got funding, right, from institutions or the government or whatever. He specifically, because of what Sean said earlier, like when Sean said, I don't want to take the grants because with grants come control. That's the same reason Dr. Umar doesn't want government funding, because he feels like he said if the government funds it, then they get to control the education. And I agree with him 1,000% on this. He feels like Black children should be taught by Black people in a certain type of curriculum. And by him not taking the government funding, he'll be able to control that curriculum.
I would have got the funding from churches. I'm just being dead ass. All the places he's been to, every state, he got that money in a heartbeat going to just churches alone.
Well, it ain't the problem with that is the curriculum still. Like the churches may not want to even agree with his curriculum. Like and the reason why.
To that, Sean, you're not wrong. He's going to talk about a reason a Christian. There's certain things he's going to teach that the Christian man doesn't want his son to learn.
Right. Mm-hmm. The other thing too is a lot of people have done schools, but they have not done independent schools. LeBron and them, their schools are not independent schools. They're just charter schools, which are basically glorified public schools. Like they can't control the curriculum and stuff like that.
I didn't know charter schools couldn't control the curriculum. I thought that was a main part of a charter school, that they actually have something a little more different than public schools in terms of what they want to teach.
Yeah, you can control it to some degree, but you still are under. It's still a public school. At the end of the day, if your school is not independent, if they strictly ain't calling it an independent school, then there's a difference. When they say charter school, that's definitely different than independent school.
Gotcha.
Chicago said, yeah, back on Dr. Umar. Listen, I'm feeling extra black this week, and until I don't, that's the vibe, Chicago Rilla. But we were supposed to review this yesterday. We just never got to it.
Around the finish line, and people always ask me, so what's going to be the date? I can't give a date. I've had like 6 dates, and I violate every date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because one thing this has taught me, when you institution building, don't give out no dates till the institution done. The biggest mistake I made was I thought I could predict. Nah, wait till you completely done and then give out a date. But we right there at the finish line. Floors, walls, and doors, and we done.
Before you move on from the school, quickly, what's going to be your role? Because I know that you're all over the world. You're speaking to many people.
I'm going to be the principal.
Okay, so you're actually going to be there? I won't
be able to travel as much. Yeah, I'm physically
Got
there.
you.
Because you got to remember, we're going to be tuition based.
Yeah.
And so when people send their children to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, they're assuming that they're going to get to experience Dr. Umar in the flesh.
Yeah.
So if I'm not there, number one, that's dangerous because I'm not sure my teachers are teaching. You follow me?
Yep.
And number two, they don't really get the Ephi Tunde experience, right? So I'm going to be the principal, and I'm also going to be the history teacher.
And is that going to be your plan for like a long time, or are you going to kind of do that? And
as
then
schools come, as we get more schools, I'm going to have to fall back, and I'm going to be more of a superintendent.
Got you.
Than the principal. You
Got you.
follow? But I still plan to be the history teacher, even if I have to do so virtually.
How about psychology? Would you be involved in that as well? Because I know.
Well, I probably will be the school psychologist as well. Although we will not have a bona fide special ed program. We will have programs for disabled children, but special ed is federal, which means that's public dollars. We don't take public dollars. So we will not have a public special ed program.
Got you. Thank you. Okay.
What's your views on religion in school?
Well, we will have.
Sean, I think this is going to address what you just said about why he probably couldn't get funding from the church. I don't know. Oh. My boo Love C is here. Love C, what do you want to say?
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, Love C.
Grand Risings, Queen.
Grand Rising. My melanated kings and queen Venus. I don't know how to say it. You got to give me a pass, man. I don't know all the terms. But
you got to say Grand Rising.
All the Hotep terms.
yeah. Grand Rising to all my melanated kings and queens on the panel. Peace and prosperity.
Where Brownsville at?
Hey, y'all a mess. So this is what I have to say, right? About Dr. Umar in the school.
Can you speak up a little bit or turn up your volume, please?
Oh, let me turn up my volume. Hold on. It takes a great deal of work to do what he's doing, right? And I think it's easy for people who have no experience doing what he's doing to say, oh, the timeline should be done. I think he's right. He shouldn't have given a timeline. However, it takes a great deal of red tape, depending on what city you're in, to build something, to fund it yourself. And I'm saying this, I just, I talked to Venus about this. I just finished a school, a private school that our church had, and they've had the school for years, but they were renting out of someone else's business. They recently purchased the property, renovated the property, transition the school from the initial building to the new building where it is now. Staffing of the school, curriculum, we transitioned to a different curriculum for the school. And I was the project manager from this project, and it took us a great deal of time to do it with an all volunteer. My entire project team was volunteer. So we're doing this on top of our homes, our families, our regular work, all these things. When you start talking about contractors and construction, when you look at the price of what it takes to build, when you look at the labor and the materials, the coordination of different contractors, permitting with the city, inspections, we're just talking about the construction alone. That's an undertaking in itself. Most people couldn't tell you how much something like that would cost. Then you start to talk about the regulations and the rules and the red tapes and the things. There are certain legalities that you have to go through with the city, with the state, even if you're not receiving funding from them. But to fund something like that, and then it's not just, you pay for this and it's done. There are insurances, there are licenses, there's labor, there's all sorts of things that go into that. And if you've never built anything and you've never gone through that process, you don't even have, even with the experience that I have of managing that sort of project, I'd be hard pressed to tell someone the details of each specific thing because I don't know them. I have an overarching, knowledge of each specific of each group, but I don't know the in-depth and the detail to go into that. But I think that when someone sets out to do something like this, the intentions are good, the plan is good, it's beneficial for us. I think as a people, we should be supportive. If we don't want to be in support, I think we shouldn't tear down. We shouldn't be negative about it because it's going to be beneficial whenever it's complete. And there are those of us who've never built anything, never dedicated our lives to start or create or do anything for other people. And we can tend to be the most critical of other people who have said, hey, I'll sacrifice my time, my money. I'll even let you guys talk about me and say that I'm, one thing or another because I see the finish line. And that's just my perspective. I think we talk about men having a plan, having a vision, having a dream. And then when they have one, we criticize, we critique, we tear it down and we nitpick it. And then we wonder why people don't step up and do it. If nobody should be supporting him, we should, if you can't support, don't detract.
Yeah. And that's what, again, I understand. And that's why I get mad at the word individualism. I just know a lot of the indoctrination of Black people, whether they realize it or not, even that, what you just mentioned, is a part of it. The way we are taught to view each other is of a distrustful place, right? So people wanted to make him out as a scammer. He's a liar. He's this and he's that, right? But why? Because you don't even know how to recognize a Black person actually being an authority, being a person who wants to build a school, needing your help because it looks unfamiliar. Because you don't understand, this got to be a scam. He got to be lying. Just our lack of trust for each other. Somebody brought up Black Lives Matter yesterday. What happened was it started one way, good intentions, and then it ended another way. And part of why I'm with Dr. Umar on not accepting money from certain places because people infiltrate, different things start to happen. And that's what happened. It went from one cause, then it went to LGBTQ, then it went into all these other things, right? So they were able to get it moving faster, but they were also accepting funding from different places, right? And you see how that shit went. But so they try to make it seem like all of our causes are just negative and scammy, but they don't add those extra details of how it turned that way. So it's not that every time a Black person try to do something, they automatically trying to scam you, they're trying to lie to you, or God forbid they don't meet the deadline, because the same way you said, we don't know, he didn't know. Until you've built a school, you don't fucking know, right? So you might get a lot of shit wrong.
Yeah. Hey, the first meetings that I held, Venus, for the school, people were asking So okay, so what do we have? I had I have I started off with 14 project teams, and every meeting they were like, okay, so what do we need to do? And we had an end goal, but we didn't know how to get to there. So having to the time it took just to reverse engineer what it was that we needed to do was time consuming, because we didn't know what we didn't know. So it was a lot of additional work that went into that. Then you look at a lunch program that's federally funded too. So depending on how, when you're going to teach the type of things that we need,
he will control the diet. He's not even taking that, right? So
exactly. So when you want to do the things that he wants to do, like I'm sure he's probably going to teach them about growing and gardening and all this kind of stuff. When you want to do that's a whole additional amount of money. And yeah, you can look and say it would have been better if he just started small. And then how many times have we gotten in the midst of something, and hindsight is 20/20, right? But we're here now. So what are we going to do?
And I just feel like Black people should help. I'm sorry, even if he's going to fail. And I pray he doesn't, but I think Black people should help. I just looked up the purchasing power of Black people in the country, and it's between $1.6 trillion and $2 trillion. I saw different numbers, right? And I was like, damn, what if everybody just gave him 50 cents?
I need my Gucci flip-flops, Venus.
Huh?
Then I can't afford my Louis Vuitton, Venus, if I give him the money.
Right. That's their thing, right?
No, but the way Sean broke it down, like $10 a month, like any we waste money on absolutely nothing all the time, right? But I'm just trying to, I guess
I was making a joke. I wasn't being serious. I was making a joke.
Okay, I got you. I understand now. I guess I'm trying to draw our attention to the way we look at each other and how bad it is, because a lot of the Black people that I do hear talk about Umar is they want to criticize him, they want to call him a scammer, he's all of these different things, but like, why don't y'all recognize that the way you look at him is even part of like your indoctrination? Why you don't know how to look at yourself and have confidence and have trust and be supportive? Why don't y'all know how to do that? Why don't y'all know?
That math you put out was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's $100 million. If you took just 10 cents from that much from each person, yeah, that's 100 mil.
They have donated millions. He's gonna, if we can get to it in this episode, he's gonna talk about how Black people got his GoFundMe returned. They ended up, something happened with the GoFundMe and they ended up refunding everybody because it was making him out to be a scammer, so he can't go that route anymore. It's the whole thing, and I feel like Black people have been some of his biggest opposition. And it's like, damn, at least let him fuck this up, and then we could treat him like that. But somebody trying, like, look at the message. Like, I want to educate Black boys. This is what this man wants to do. He's always fighting about special ed. He's always telling people don't sign anything. They can't give your kid an autism test unless you give permission. Don't sign nothing because they want to put your kid on medication because they get a percentage. All I hear him do is try to speak positively about Black people, and Black people are so fucking trash that all y'all do is speak fucked up about the man. He just want to educate children.
That gives me an idea now that we're talking though. Why don't we as a people collectively, if we were to actually build an institution, we could have honestly had put together a funds organization, just simply a funds organization that benefits just our people specifically, and put it out there, just like they have charities and stuff like that. This would be just something that we donate to. That's something that could have been established a long time ago, but who would run it then? Who would we trust? NCAAP could have easily organized that, I believe, or even Black Lives Matter could have organized that. They definitely had a lot of funds coming in. And I don't know, I think it's possible that, because you see them pop up every now and then, that they can do it, but we just haven't really put ourselves in charge to actually do it for a cause or a goal like what Umar's doing.
Let me show y'all some. You got it. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just like, really, it's making me a little bit sad the harder I think about Because I never thought it through this far. I've only heard him speak positively and uplift black people. That's all I ever heard him do. He is well intentioned and he actually cares about children and not just his own children. Cares about black children, cares about black people, educating people on how to protect their kids from being put on medic. Every time I see him do an interview, he bring that shit up. Like, actually cares about black people for real. And the way y'all be doing people is so fucking trash. Like, it really is disappointing. And then the people y'all be having all the hope and all the confidence and all the forgiveness for don't give a fuck about you. Like, I need y'all to really undo some of that damn brainwashing and indoctrination that is a result of systemic oppression that half of y'all will not address, that y'all think doesn't exist. But when you open your mouths, you sound just like them and don't even fucking know it. But I digress.
Venus, is it okay if I say something?
Yeah, I'm done. Because I'm mad now. Okay, I'm mad.
I think that we're forgetting one thing as well. Dr. Umar, you know, I do try to give him the benefit of the doubt by me being older, but he does at times give off the pastor that we need a church fund, the church. And to a degree, the donations and everything that this man has received has not been showing the evidence of the work. So people are really, you have to understand, black people have always given and they constantly get let down. And a lot of the things that he does and the way he moves a lot, it shows that.
So can I ask you a question though?
Uh-huh.
Constantly let down, but they constantly investing into white-owned companies, right?
Yeah, and you know I don't agree with that.
Everywhere else that has a history of letting people the fuck down. Not cursing at you, it's passionate. They constantly putting money into everything else, every other type of institution, corporation, organization that has also a history of letting people down. But that don't stop them from putting $1 in the shit.
Yeah, and that's where we fail as a people.
You're gonna hold the black man who don't have none of that behind him at a way higher standard, and we got way higher expectations for him before we could give him a damn $20 that we throw away anyway. Like this, I'm really focused on the mindset. I understand what you're saying, but I keep attacking the mindset.
Yeah. Well, look, that's the same.
That's really the problem here.
That's the same thing I said about us with presidential candidates. We held Obama and are now holding Kamala to a totally different standard that we don't hold these unseasoned white people to as it relates to black people.
And that's right. Yeah. I mean, and we know what the problem is. We know what the problem is, especially with our race. The whole thing is, if Umar, he's just going to have to show and prove. You know, I've seen clips of stuff where he actually, he said he had the force done and he was showing just certain areas or what have you, but now you have to redo it. People start to lose faith in that. Now he's always going to have support. Don't get it twisted. Even like I told y'all, I'm skeptical, but I'm still willing to support him because I don't want him to fail. That's something great. But we do have to look at the fact, no matter the poorest of the poor in our race have always given, and they've always got the short end of the stick. So I know we just have to be mindful of the pain of what has been done before. And like I said,
and this is why I'm not being mindful of it. William, hear what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be mindful of black people's pain because that pain don't stop them from showing up to the same businesses that disrespect them and keep giving their money every fucking day. I don't care about their pain. They don't care about their pain until they got to part ways with $1 to somebody that actually looks like them because they don't give a fuck about their own people. I don't care about their pain.
Yeah, I agree totally. You know, I was just giving the other side of how a lot of people who I've had discussions with about him have stated. And so, you know, I mean,
I want to tell all those
from
people,
both sides.
And and I don't care about. I want to tell them people, okay, so when you go to the Chinese restaurant and they talk to you crazy, you still come back. When you go to the nail salon and they talk to you crazy, you still come back. When you go to all these other places and they talk to you crazy, you still come back. Somehow you know how to get over your pain for everybody but your own fucking group. Man, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying, I just think it's bullshit. It's again, there's like an inherent distrust that black people have of each other, right? Whether it's warranted, some of it or not. My point is the motherfuckers they know they can't trust, they'll completely turn a blind eye and keep patroning them. So that's why I don't care about that. If you can look past it for them, then look past it for your own.
Yeah. And white people, because white people kind of know this, not to single out that particular group, because multiple groups do it to us, right? But you know what I'm saying? This is why I don't put nigga shit past white people, because white people will do nigga shit to you in a heartbeat. Also, it's not just a trust thing. It seems to also be a core value thing, because whenever there is a black business or something, black people always want a discount. They want a deal. They want to sell. I'm like, no, I'm trying to get this off the ground. Yeah. If you really valued me as a black person, if you really valued the black-owned business, you would pay for full price. So I always
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I got to come on and stop right there. This is going to kind of speak to my point. Why, when you look at a black person, right, a reflection of themselves, do they, in their own mind, think lesser quality? I deserve it. You're not worth what I'm willing to pay everybody else. You're looking at your own, and you see low quality in your own, but you see high quality in everybody else. That shit is crazy. So when I say y'all are brainwashed and indoctrinated and fucked up, I don't even understand. I really mean that shit.
Somebody has to echo himself.
Can I say something? Yes, everyone on the move. You sound very
Supreme God is into the chat.
Hey, make sure
that might,
you and everybody, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Go ahead, PhD.
So yes, that can be the case, but I'm a firm believer that ain't no one-sided obligations, right? So in the same way that we as consumers or customers should value black people's work and their expertise and all those things and pay them full price, I think we also need to be valued as customers, right? And so a lot of times in my experience, because I am a person whose orientation is black first, so I'm gonna always try to find a black person who can do whatever it is I need to pay to have done. But it seems like a lot of times the mentality on the part of the black business owner is that the transaction is concluded when they collect my money, right? And so typically, or for a lot of things, you're not paying after the fact. If you're buying a product, well, still you're paying ahead of time most of the time, right? So that's not the end of the transaction, right? The transaction doesn't conclude until you have delivered what I have paid you to do, right? What is that?
Williams.
I muted everybody because y'all are like, I don't know what y'all got going on, but it's messing up the sound.
Okay. And so again, I just think everybody needs to be valuing everyone and give me top, service and top attention, because there have been instances where it seems like other people get catered to a little bit more, who don't look like us. So everybody needs to fix their mentality and their mindset and value blackness, because a lot of times it seems like it's just expected to be a one-sided obligation. And I ain't never for no one-sided obligation.
Okay, so I'm 1,000% with you. I'm an entrepreneur myself. Like literally ran my own small brick and mortar, right? So that's what I mean by that. Like I literally understand, and I've been on the other side of it too. That mentality, it just depends on the position the person's in, PhD. But it could be the client, and it could be the owner, right? Or it could be the manager. It could be it's just a mentality problem. You're right. Because on the flip side, now this could be the owner, but you're a black person who sees low quality in black people too. So how are you treating people? What kind of service are you providing? What kind of effort are you putting forth? What kind of quality is your product?
Right.
So that's why I'm constantly attacking the mindset, because it really don't matter. Whatever position they in is going to be a damn problem, because you look at your own as low quality, not worth the effort or not worth the asking price or whatever it is. But you don't ask nobody else no damn questions. You give what they ask.
Yeah. And stop trying to get everything in one bite of the apple, right? And so I've had plenty, and I don't know if this is related to me being black, another black person, or me being a woman, right? Because I'll have people come out, multiple people come out, give estimates. The black person might come out and give an estimate, and I say, oh, okay, well, you know, they ask if I'm gonna go with them. No, I found it for cheaper. Oh, well, what they doing? Oh, okay, well, I can come down to, well, nigga, if you could come down to that, then why the fuck were you trying to charge me more than that to begin with, right? And so that always turns me off, and it lets me know, like, no, you're not somebody that I would want to do business with. And so just being above board, across the board, everybody, we can all treat each other with respect and be on the up and up and establish some trust amongst each other.
And I'm going to say one last thing, and I'm going to be right back, and everybody can get their words in. So Devin D, hey Devin, he said black folks need to work on their customer service. And this is true as well. And nobody get offended because I'm an entrepreneur. It ain't no shade. And it's not everyone, but some of that stereotype is true. Okay. I don't even care if you're an entrepreneur or not. If you decided to take the job, be pleasant at the fucking job. Okay. If your job is customer service, you are here to serve. Doesn't mean be a slave, doesn't mean get walked on, but at the very least, be pleasant, be approachable, be helpful, be mindful, right? Not just you here, you miserable as fuck, you hate your job, and we can tell. No, then you know what? You can get on out that slot and let somebody else have it who really would value that job because they really need it. Like, nobody is coming to pay money to deal with nobody's fucked up ass attitude. But I digress. I'm going on mute. Who's next?
I was going to say exactly what you just said, Venus. I was going to say, what does the culture look like with etiquette? Does our culture have etiquette? You know what I'm saying? And to what extent is it branched out to in certain areas? Because that's what I was going to talk about before. It's like, I don't think that we don't distinguish each other enough to know, like, okay, there's a difference between this and this and that. We kind of just blend it all together because we have a common thing that we do or deal with. So we kind of overlook certain things that are either bad or good behavior. Or if we try to put out bad behavior, it's like, well, why are you doing that for? Why in front of all these white people and stuff? And it's just like, well, I don't want to do it in front of white people intentionally, but it's more like if I see something, I want to correct my brother or sister. He says, no, you could do that about some other way. But that's what I'm saying. Like, do we have etiquette when it comes to our culture?
That's a great question, and I was gonna go, but Rel sent me a Cash App, and I just want to play the video real quick. Thank you, JC. I appreciate you. And Robin said people can't just quit their jobs. Then okay, I understand that. Then make a conscious effort to be pleasant. Do y'all know sometimes I be at work annoyed at life, wanting to just be not school. I want to say employment shooter and just shoot the whole place up. Do y'all know? And I still come out the room and smile at every guest, introduce myself, bring them in there, wax that hairy ass vagina, okay? And do it with a smile. Because why? You don't have to be here. Nobody's coming here to deal with your fucked up attitude, okay? And that's a very intimate thing. It's a whole nother thing. But the point is, like, my problems are not my job's problems, okay? It is not these strangers' problems. They don't deserve to be treated a fucked up way because I'm mad today. Like, that's not, I get it. People are human, but like, no, people got to take responsibility, Robin, whether I want to be there or not. It's called job for a reason. It requires work. And some of that is forcing yourself to be pleasant, even if you don't feel like it. That's the part that needs to be in the handbook. Like, it's like an unwritten rule. Do not bring your bullshit ass problems here. Nobody cares. Everybody got shit going on.
Hey, Venus.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I wanted to respond to.
Wait, I just gotta play this real quick.
I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty, nasty, nasty. Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody gonna match my nasty? I got stamina. I've been a nasty girl, nasty.
Thank you for the Cash App. And please, ain't nobody more miserable than me. Do y'all know how it is to run your own business for 3 years and not have to have a boss, and then have a situation with the economy and have to go and get a part-time job? Do y'all know how depressing that shit is? That shit is horrible.
It's like walking backwards. I can feel that.
That's how
No,
it feels.
if you're an
Waxing
entrepreneur, you
vagina
got a
is just tough
boss.
in general, though.
You got a boss if
Yeah.
you're an entrepreneur.
Wait, what you say, Chicago Rilla?
You have a boss if you're a sole proprietor, if you're an LLC, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a boss.
Well, it's different. As an
You're the
entrepreneur,
boss.
the clients
No,
are my
your customer is the boss.
yeah, the clients are your boss. That's different than going into somebody else's institution when they want me to be there, leaving when they want me to leave. That's very different than being in my own shit and getting in a week what y'all want to pay me in a month. That's a very different thing.
Now you're peeling back. So one thing that you hit on, that's what I was gonna say. Because I think it's important that people who are serial entrepreneurs understand that, right? Like most people go into business say, "Oh, I want a boss." Then if you're not in business to serve and problem solve, then it's gonna show what your motives are. If it's only to make money, then I think you should get into businesses that allow you to do that and earn passive income where you don't really have to do customer facing activities. But if you're front facing, if you're public facing, customer facing, then you should be in actively serving and problem solving. But I did want to speak just really quick. I did want to speak to this Umar situation because when I first came into his teachings or whatever, I heavily supported the brother, right? And so I don't want to speak to or about people who've never built anything, who are not community stakeholders, who are negative Nellies about everything, ain't donated a dime to nothing. I'm not talking about those people. Those people exist. They always gonna say something. But I think the people that put in on his campaign that are asking questions have every right to do so. I think people who he's actively soliciting for more funds, which is the public, have every right to question him when he talks really good, but he's not very transparent, right? When I was SG, and this is many moons ago, when I was student government president at the school that I went to, right, we made it a point to have 3 closed meetings and at least 1 open meeting a month, right, where we invited the entire student body and the school president, the college president, so we could put everything on the table. So those students knew exactly where their student fees were going to. The student fees that's collected by the school outside of the SGA office was an expense sheet printed up that everybody could take a look at. If anybody wanted access to any information that was deemed public, as stakeholders, they had access to that. So even with what I do now at my alma mater, spearheading the Alumni Association, I'm transparent in that same way. Why? Because I know when there's money involved, people are gonna have questions. So I don't think, I just accept it and understand that that's on me to get in front of that and answer those questions even before they start asking. And the other thing that I'll say, honestly, because I understand Dr. Umar is going to get the attacks, and I don't think he should be addressing those. I don't think he really has. I think he should be addressing people who are genuinely curious, who have legitimate questions about what's going on and when the school will be built. I think that's legit.
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all, to be fair, right? People, because they've invested, they gave you resources, they believed in the vision, they want to help. I absolutely think those people deserve explanations. It's just a lot of people who I know ain't about shit, ain't donate to shit, ain't helping nobody, are some of the loudest voices criticizing him. And I don't think that's cool.
No, I agree with you there, Venus. I mean, even when I think about, and I'm gonna drop down after this, even when I think about stuff that's going on in my own city, right? How hard it is to raise funds because people are apathetic. But there's a coffee shop here that specifically uses that business model to fund giving away like free therapy to the entire community. So you buy a cup of coffee, you know that's going towards free therapy for people who sign up to get therapy. And I'm really, really big on that because in particular they target Black men. There's the Dovetail Project here, which specifically works with young fathers 17 to 24 to teach them how to be, young fathers, right? So there are programs here that you can't get support for because people are so apathetic. But I still think it's incumbent on Dr. Umar even if he says you know, hey, I'm doing closed meetings with all the donors, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm doing a Zoom call with all the donors or whatever. You don't have to do nothing public on Breakfast Club. But if you go on Breakfast Club and you're specifically promoting your school and what you're doing, people are gonna have questions. There's just no way around that. And the negative naysayers who've never built a thing in their life, they're gonna have something to say always. But people who are community stakeholders who are putting in the work, and people who have donated. I didn't know, like, I don't know if y'all familiar with Minister Jab, but Minister Jab is on record saying he donated. Simple to P is on record saying he's donated. So he's attracting people from all types of all walks of life, right? So he's winning in that regard. I think where he's missing the opportunity is to shore up that message and show results of here's where we are so far. When you look at a King Randall, he's constantly showing you in real time what he's doing with those boys, right? We don't even know what students are coming to the school. So I just think that, you know, he should actively get in front of some of these questions that's being asked, and then not even put his support base on the defense as much. Like, he should be in front of that more than anybody else. But it really does seem like it's a man band. Doesn't seem like there's a PR team working with, and I'm sure he does have a PR team, but it just doesn't seem like it. Just seems like it's a one-man operation. But you, man, I'm not feeling 100, but y'all have at it.
But no, I just wanted to ask a question, Rilla. So what is he saying when people have the questions? Is he providing any information? Because I actually stopped.
I think Venus played a little bit of it. It's the typical. It's a very vague, like, you know, the school is being built, and then he'll throw in a, you know, we got doors and floors. I think one time it was HVAC wasn't coming through. Another time he couldn't get contractors, you know, so on and so forth. But even people that have, like, I know C was saying, like, she's worked on projects, but I'm talking about people that are in construction. Like, it's been said that people have wanted to donate. He didn't want them to donate their time. Or people who are actively in construction said, nah, that doesn't add up, but that doesn't sound right. So I don't think he's given the concrete answers that would satisfy most people. It's really like, yeah, once we get, even the clip that just played, like, yeah, once we get the doors and the floors put in, then we're good to go. But again, go ahead.
And I'm just, how long do Black people allow our folks, you know, to breadcrumb us? You know what I'm saying? And so it does seem like there's a and I don't know how new it is, but Black people a lick, you know what I'm saying? And so there are a lot of these people who come and they say, you know, we're gonna do this for the Black community. What was the guy with the Black Wall Street Trust or whatever, the real estate thing? And
I know you're talking about
Jay Morrison.
Right.
Yes, Morrison.
It's been plenty of them, and they say we're gonna do this, and they make you feel good about being Black, and now we finna build as a Black community, and then they get all these donations or, you know, in air quotes, investments, and take the money and run. And so I guess I just like, what is our vetting process as a community to say, okay, this is something that's legit and this isn't? And then when we start getting the red flags, how long do we allow people to breadcrumb us and we just go off of their charisma and the fact that we like them and keep letting them, you know?
I like what Rilla said about full transparency. I think that could be one thing that's an absolute requirement. Like, hey, Sean has a project going on. He asked us all on this panel to donate $100. All right, that was, I don't know, whatever, not $100. He gave us a 3-month time window. We all agree that every 2 weeks we deserve an update. We need to see exactly what's going on. I'm just throwing a number out. We want to see purchases. We want to see work done. We want to see everything. And that, like, maybe that has to just be a requirement. Like, okay, first of all, there need, like he said, maybe there needs to be a meeting, like, I don't know, once a month or whatever it is. And we need concrete proof of production happening. You know what I mean? Like, even things going wrong, we need to see ourselves that things actually went wrong so we understand the hangups. Maybe that just has to be the way because people have been, you know, taken advantage of so much.
I still think that he's I still think for the most part he's not
I'm gonna be honest though. It sounds like we're painting a picture like most Black people that do this type of stuff are fraudsters and nothing comes out of it. So it kind of feels weird to me. But I'm gonna show y'all an example of something simple. Let me back up. Have any of y'all done anything that's group economics?
Wait, ask the question again, please.
Done what
That's
now? I'm
what?
sorry. Go ahead.
That would be considered group economics.
No.
Not
Yeah.
group economics.
No.
No, I know basic
Who
economics.
said yes?
Me, Lovesy.
What type? What did you do? If you don't
It
mind
was
sharing.
for a funding of a. No, we put our money together to fund a trucking company.
See, that's dope. Now look,
So
this
like
is
to purchase trucks and things like that.
see that this is what I'm saying. Like, just for me, out of this conversation, like I hope that we get some ideas and some motivation to go do some of these things. And so I'm gonna show y'all something simple that we did. So I started an alumni association for my chapter, my fraternity. So then out of that, my line brother and I said, well, he's a wizard with investments. So he wanted to teach all of us how to invest in things like that, and then teach our kids and things like that. So the first investment club we started, it was something simple. Like this is just, bear in mind, this is just for the kids to learn. So this is one of them, right? So this is just for the kids to learn. So this was like, okay, well, so while the kids are learning, let's contribute $25 a month, or whatever the case may be. Then the amount went up. So as you can see, some good stocks in there. A lot of them some of them have really good returns, like Regeneron, which is like 400%, things like that. So in the process, they get to learn, but also they're practicing group economics because it's a real LLC with real paperwork. And when you go into My iClub, it shows you everybody's ownership percentage and everything. So nothing is vague. There's no ambiguity. Here's another one we did. So this is with this one, there are more people in there, but it's the same thing. And it started with just people contributing $25 a month, right? And so your ownership stake, if you go to the reports, it's just in there. All the money is in, the investment. Some is in Fidelity, things like that. But you can do the same thing with your family or your friend group. And yeah, okay, that's not $1 million, but it starts somewhere and it continues to compound. So I'm saying, like, while we having all these conversations, what can we do on our part to first off start to implant this mindset into our kids? And then two, not just our kids, our family members. My family members don't think like this. So for me to start them on this process is like, yeah, don't just spend your money on goofy shit. Don't just let your money sit in a bank account, in a savings account where it's not making any money. Actually learn how to make money and start that process. And then everybody starts to mirror some of these investments in their own brokerage account. So what I'm saying is, I think there's a lot that we can learn from one another, which is why I keep saying we're not just responsible for our household. If you can teach the people around you, even if that's people on YouTube too, then let's do that too. We can sit here and have these conversations and they're great, but also let's have some action steps. Let's have some things where we can show fruit and things like that too.
Yeah, Sean, what we're starting to do, 10 of us, we're about to pull our money together to open up a Dollar Tree downtown in my city.
I like it. But okay,
because that's where a lot of the lower class is, as far as just impoverished neighborhoods. So we want to open up a Dollar Tree.
I don't know if he heard you, but let me play a little bit more. Oh, I actually got to end the show very soon, so.
And one of our bona fide curriculums will be African spirituality. You don't have to practice it, but you must study it. So if you say, I want my son to go to FDMG, but he cannot learn about the ancestors, he cannot learn about the way African people worship God, he can't come to the school. No child is exempt from any aspect of the curriculum. And the reason I'm bringing this up is good. I'm glad you asked the question, because I've had supporters who intend to send their children to the school, but they want to exempt them from the African spirituality curriculum. Can't happen. Mm-hmm. They don't have to practice. They don't have to pull libation, but they must know why we do it. You follow me? Yeah. They have to get the instruction, but they don't have to participate in the practice. I had one father, he's a big supporter. He said, Dr. Umar, I'm a Christian. I cannot allow my son to learn anything about African spirituality. Mm-hmm. I said, well, he won't be able to come to the school. I said, it's a shame. And you need to check your hypocrisy. He said, what do you mean? I said, your son go to a public school, right? He said, yeah. They're being taught to worship white people. They're being taught about homosexuality and transgenderism. Yeah. They're being taught that African people can achieve nothing in the world. They're being being special educated, medicated, mistreated. You was okay with all that. Look, you was okay with all.
This is what I'm talking about with black people. Only when it comes to other black people, they got these high ass standards that they don't have for nobody else. That's fucking crazy. They teaching your kid about homosexuality. You can be a furry now. They want to put litter boxes in the damn school. You can be a furry. I'm a cat, okay? I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm non-binary. Y'all letting them teach y'all kids all of this. But oh my God, you want to teach them about Africans. What? I'm a Christian. How dare you? Huh? Y'all just pissed me. I'm just gonna get on a plane and I'm just never coming back. Like I'm going to live on an island.
Venus, you so theatrical.
That people really piss me off, Rilla. Like, why they got standards only for themselves?
I think again, you know, we were talking yesterday, and I was sharing my experience about, you know, the kids' first day of school here was Monday. Well, for Cook County, it was Monday. And when you begin to look at the ages of these parents, most of the time, people are sending their kids to school as an 8-hour daycare. It's a 8-hour holding place for their kids until they get back home, right? So most of this stuff, I think, should be challenged. While I think most of this stuff should be challenged and should begin at home, so when you go into school, I think the best use of your time in school is spent, you know, critically thinking and challenges some of the things that you're indoctrinated with there. But it's not weird for me to see an indoctrinated people follow the doctrine. So yeah, you're indoctrinated with Christianity and you feel very strongly that way about Christianity, that even if you learn about another culture and custom that can disrupt your Christianity or your practice or your belief, then, you know, yeah, I ain't surprised. And I'm not trying to vibe with those people, man. I just want to rock with my tribe. Let me vibe with my tribe.
And I'm a Christian too. Maybe I'm just not as devout as I should be, because I get it. I know, like, I was talking to Sean on the phone this morning, and he was like, I was telling him, like, I think the Bible's misogynistic, and I said Christians get mad when I say that, and if they feel like I'm disrespecting God when I say that, and he was like, well, why? And I said exactly what you said. I understand the mentality of the indoctrinated Christian, right? So they're not being wrong. They really feel like any of this is a violation to God, and so they can't get with it, right? But like he told the father, you need to check your hypocrisy, because that public school, that white-owned institution, that government-funded institution that you send your child to every day, right? They're teaching your kids a lot of things that will violate your quote-unquote Christian beliefs, but you ain't holding them to that standard.
You know what he should have hit him with, Venus? He should have told him, what is that, 1 Timothy or 1 Peter 5:8, study to show yourself approved. That's what he should have hit him with.
Okay, guys, unfortunately, I have a job, okay? And I do say unfortunately, because that is misery for entrepreneurs. But anyway, I do have a job, so I have to do final words. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Oh, let me say it again, whilst 100 people here. Starting next week, Tuesday through Friday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. will be my time slot. Please be here with me while I continue to scold the Black community for whatever crosses my mind that day, okay? Who's first?
I'll go first. Appreciate being here.
Me. I'll go first.
Oh, damn.
Hey, man, take some action steps. Learn about crowdfunding. Learn about group economics. Take some steps. If y'all want somebody to teach y'all how to do that for free, how to start your own investment club, I'll have my line brother come on here, and he will absolutely do a class to show y'all how to do it.
Sounds good, Sean. Appreciate it. I don't have much to say.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, Sean. I would definitely be interested in seeing your line brother come and teach that. I think that's very valuable. And I think, showing people how they can do it, with the people in their immediate sphere of influence, rather than some person on YouTube that they, or from social media that they never get to, see in person or touch, is very valuable as well. So very interesting conversation. Venus, thank you for having me. Y'all have a great day.
Wait, PhD Diva.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're comfortable if you do this, but do you have like an email or something? Like a way you let people contact you?
Oh, yeah.
Can you put it in the back, please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Okay, who is next? Go ahead, Marvelous.
Yeah, not much. Appreciate being here. Thank you for the show. Great thing you offer out there, Sean. That sounds very interesting as well. Shout out to everyone that showed up on the panel. Peace and love.
Okay.
Hit the like button, hit the Cash App, hit the super chat. Venus, these conversations are getting doper and doper. Anytime I find myself punching the air, that's when you see me tapping. In my opinion. Like, wait a minute. Sean, hey.
I gotta be a little bit extreme because I know
I love it.
Y'all don't agree all the time. I know that, right? But
I love it. I love it. And, hey, Sean, I say you fire up a live and you assemble the investment group on your channel, right? Listen, if you bring your brother on and you start the investment group, I'm chipping in. I'm down with that campaign because I think it's important to show people how to do it real time.
Hey man, whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Like it, man. It's crazy to have like, my best friend teach us how to invest. Like we always making money, but just for him to like show us how to, like I had him on Lucky's channel once. His name is Akari. So I had him on Lucky's channel before. But like, and he'll tell you, like he, makes, hundreds of thousands in what he does. But then he became a millionaire before 40 from his investments though. And I'm like, my first apartment I got with this guy in college, you know what I'm saying? Before we pledged. I'm like, damn, man, this nigga, he beat me to the punch. But have to have the humility of letting your friend teach you. And this is me and our pro fights too. He's teaching us. And our pro fights are in their 50s. So for us to humble ourselves and be like, you know what, Akari has the information, we're gonna let him teach us. I think that's what we all need to be able to do. Like, whether you do it for your family, your friend group, or whatever, I just think it's important for us in this space to start to have some outcomes, to start to have some success stories, to start to say, hey, look, we don't just talk shit. This is what we do too. We help each other. We're building an interconnected community.
That's a fact.
Well, y'all could tell me. Yesterday, I was out looking at Sweets. Sean knows this. So I could relaunch my business in my new location, and y'all could definitely crowdfund my ass because my launch date is October 1st.
I told Venus this, like the thing that I've been working on with the pitch deck. Like I'm like, why don't you come and just pitch your idea, and we can crowdfund your idea. But I want us to get in the habit of actually pitching our idea. Like we have to. You know what I'm saying? Like Akari is the same guy. He had to be 10 grand just on GP for my business. Just handed it to me. You know what I'm saying? Just handed it to me. So I'm just saying, like, I believe in crowdfunding. And I'm not talking about in exchange for equity, crowdfunding, but it also comes with mentorship. That's very important. I should be able to benefit from whatever PhD Diva knows. Like I hear her talk about investment properties and things like that. That's some shit I don't know about. I would love to have, her, or even if I was, one of the 25-year-olds in the crowd, Jalen may want to get into that, and he may need 3 months of mentorship from PhD Diva. Like that's dope. Like I want us to be able to have those type of success stories instead of just talking shit and talking about who's fucking who and all that type of shit every day. Like we can do that too, but let's do the other shit too.
That's a fact.
Well, I got her email now, Sean, so she can't run. Okay, she worked for us now. She's on death row.
I'm not running.
Welcome to death row. Welcome to death row.
You know what, Sean? I think that that suggestion that somebody pitch on your pitch deck, I think I made that suggestion too. That would have been a good way to crowdfund.
Everybody
I didn't say who. I mean, sorry, your dog is hollering. But no, I think that's it. We have. I consistently say like there's a wealth of knowledge and experience on these panels, and if we make it about arguing right or wrong, and who's better at this or who has the lock on whatever information, we miss out on the opportunity to learn from one another. We miss out, there's some things I don't have to experience because I can learn from your experience. There's certain things I can partner with people and, you know, share whatever information you had. I've told people, look, I don't know everything, but the things that I do know, I'll share that information with anyone, any way that I can assist you. And I want to be able to do the same with the people around me. I think, you know, I've seen your line brother speak before, Zakari. I think I've seen him on Aaron's channel. But if we could coordinate something like that, where we help people to see, I think there's a level of fear when it comes to stepping out and investing and doing those sort of things you've never done before. But if people who have done it are able to speak about it in a way where it won't be for everyone, you know, everyone may not want to go, but for those who do, they have the ability to put action behind the dream. That makes the conversations worthwhile. That makes, you know, we could be able to point our children in the direction of, hey, you're interested in fashion, you're interested in this. Sean is who you need to talk to. You're looking for something about history or things of that nature. Chicago Rilla is who you need to, you know, we can point people in a direction, our children and ourselves, where we can be self-sufficient and where we can support one another. At any point we could nitpick, oh, why did they do it like this? Why did they do it like that? They shouldn't have done this. But to the people who are actually doing, I think you put on the blinders and you continue to do. The people who are talking and criticizing and critiquing and they have no action, let them stay wherever they are. And I think that has to be our mentality if we're going to see success.
Oh my God. I just want to say I'm really grateful. I don't know what's happening around here, but I really love the tribe and the vibe, and I would love to keep it going. Because, yeah, like Sean said, we like the fuck shit too. We like the bullshit, but I think, need to give ourselves more credit. We are multifaceted people. We are not limited to just bullshit, right? We have different skills, different abilities, and we definitely need to be exercising more of those things as well. So I'm really proud of us because I feel like we've been doing that. But it's time to end the mother effing show. I'm sorry for those who didn't get final words, but I really have to go. I will see you guys. I don't know yet because I know my new schedule will be legit next week, but this week's kind of up and down. But thank you everybody for listening. Please hit the like and the notification bell so you know when I'm live. Everybody have a good day. Bye.